Long before the sky stopped weeping over Unozala, long before the rivers dried and the yam fields cracked their wounded skin, there was a child born beneath a storm. Her name was Milyoko, meaning, the water that flows. The rain had come after 10 months of drought. It fell not from the sky, but from the clouds wrapped tightly above her mother's heart. As Ngozi, a woman thought barren, screamed through labor, a heavy drizzle soaked only her rooftop, not the land, not the fields, only her home. And when the baby was born, the midwife dropped her in shock. The child had eyes the color of wet sky, gray, weeping, and shimmering like glass. No one in the village had ever seen such a thing. The gods are whispering, the midwife said, bowing her head. A child of whispers. As Milyoko grew, the village began to fear her. It started small. Animals stared at her for too long. Rain came wherever she stood when sad, even when the sky was blue. She never cried tears, only rain that rolled down her cheeks and watered the soil. When she laughed, puddles formed in places where water had not touched in years. Elders watched her closely. The Dibia, old daimyo, came and examined her, rubbing chalk on her arms and forehead. "She is not cursed," he said, "but she is not like us either." "What does she carry?" Ngozi asked, holding her daughter close. "A mark of the old world," he answered. "One that comes when the land is at war with itself." No one understood what that meant. But the villagers, who already struggled with famine and strange omens, whispered about her. "She will bring flood one day. Her eyes carry rain, but her soul carries thunder. Keep her away from the sacred grove." The girl and the tree. Milyoko did not grow up like other children. She was not allowed to play in the stream, or fetch water from the village well. When she touched a pot, it overflowed. When she walked barefoot, flowers bloomed unnaturally on her path. She would sit alone under the udala tree, the village's oldest fruit tree, speaking to it softly. "Why do they fear me?" she would whisper. And sometimes, if the wind blew just right, the tree would rustle as if answering. One day, when she was 10, her mother found her speaking in a strange tongue under the tree. Her eyes were glowing. The air smelled of wet soil, though the sun blazed overhead. "You were not alone," Ngozi said later, shivering. "Who were you talking to?" Milyoko shrugged. "The wind has a voice. And the roots dream, Mama. Dreams of the past." That night, Milyoko dreamed. She stood in a world made of mist. A forest of white trees stretched endlessly. A woman with silver skin and eyes like hers walked toward her, barefoot, glowing. "You are the last," the woman said. "The rain left this land when they forgot us. But you remember. You carry the covenant." "What covenant?" Milyoko asked. But the dream dissolved into the sound of rushing water. She woke up drenched, her mouth soaked. The entire hut had flooded, and outside, the land remained dry. The fear becomes fire. At 12, Milyoko was accused of witchcraft. A villager named Okri, whose newborn had died in the night, blamed her. "She passed my hut, and the wind howled," he cried. "She left footprints of mud on dry ground. She is not a child, she is an Ogbanj." The chief, a stern man named Is Anin, called a village meeting. "Her birth was unnatural," he said. "Rain on a single rooftop. Eyes that drip water in sunlight. But she has done no harm," Ngozi pleaded. "She is gentle, always." "Even gentle water drowns," muttered a woman from the crowd. They did not banish her, but from that day forward, no child played with her. No woman visited Ngozi's hut. People avoided eye contact with her like she carried thunder in her breath. Only the old Dibia, daimyo, continued to greet her. He gave her a staff carved with waves and said, "When the time comes, this will open the path." Milyoko didn't understand. But she kept the staff close. The drought deepens. By her 13th year, the land had begun to rot. The skies turned dull. Rivers once rich with fish became cracked beds of silence. The yam harvest failed. Even the sacred grove stream slowed to a trickle. The people began to panic. They sacrificed goats, poured libations, even dug new wells, but the earth remained closed. Some began to murmur again about Milioko. The rain is hiding because of her. She holds it hostage behind those glassy eyes. Even her mother began to falter. Ngozi no longer sang as she cooked. She began to look at her daughter with quiet guilt. "I love you," she said one night. "But I do not understand you." Milioko said nothing. That night, she went to the idolatry again. And the wind answered. The voice beneath the earth. The earth trembled beneath her. She knelt beside the roots and placed her palm on the cracked soil. Rain began to fall gently, just on the tree. "Why did you choose me?" she whispered. Then the dream came again, but this time, she didn't sleep. The white forest returned, and the silver-skinned woman approached her. "You were born when the sky broke its silence. You are the covenant restored. I don't understand." Once, the people worshipped the Ezawani Mary, the water queen. But they turned away. They drained the rivers, cut the groves, stole the sacred waters. And I must fix this. You must return to the beginning. Follow the river that hides. It will lead you to the door. Where? To the place your people forgot. The source of rain. The journey begins. The next morning, Milioko left. She carried only the carved staff, a calabash of water from her own tears, and a bag of dried kola nuts. She didn't say goodbye. She followed the ghost of a stream through the bush, into places the hunters no longer dared to go. Trees grew dense and twisted. The air buzzed with forgotten spirits. For days, she walked alone. Until she came to a pool shaped like an eye, wide, dark, and still. The sky above it rippled like water. She touched it. And the world broke.